Thank you, Doc.
I call this hearing of the Archaeological Review Committee of Thursday, September 10th, 2020 to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Derek Pierce.
Present.
Jake Ivy. Excused if he doesn't show up, Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Courtney Wands.
Present, and Jake is here again.
Oh, Jake, well, good. And Dale Zinn.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The first item is approval of agenda. Committee, anybody want to start?
Is there any changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there are no changes to the agenda.
If there's no changes, I move for approval of the agenda as published.
I'll second that.
May we have the roll call, please? Or the
Yes,
vote,
sir.
please?
Derek Pierce.
Aye.
Jake Ivy.
Aye.
Courtney Wands.
Aye.
Dale Zinn.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you. Move on to approval of minutes of August 6th, 2020. Member Pierce?
Yeah, I had one comment. Give me just a moment. This would be on packet page 6. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4th full paragraph. The last line of that says, or second to last sentence says, so what is your plan if it is, the word should be inconclusive, not inclusive.
Okay.
Basically, I was saying, what are you going to do if the GPR returns fuzzy results that don't mean anything?
I think that's a typographical error, and I apologize.
I believe that's all I had.
All right, thank you, Derek. Member Wands?
Sorry. The same page that Derek was on, packet page 6, under Courtney Wands on the 4th paragraph down, says Miss Wands said her point is that he needs to change the site description. It was actually that he changed the site description.
He changed. Okay.
He changed the site description.
Got it.
And then on
Mr. Chair, I would like to comment that these were difficult minutes. I worked between the recording at the site and my recordings, and neither was very good, and I apologize if I didn't pick everything up exactly right.
That's okay. You do what you can, and we'll fill in some of the blanks that we can identify.
I appreciate that so much.
And then on page 16, under Courtney Wands, in the first paragraph, on the 4th line down, it says, if we had a ... that the ... should be a room block.
Room.
Block, ROOMBLOCK.
Thank you.
And then last one, sorry. On page 19, under explaining her vote, where it says, right after threshold, where it says inaudible. What I said was that that would become the threshold for every report submitted going forward.
for every report to come forward.
Submitted going forward.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Member Zinn.
I don't think I have any comments, Mr. Chair.
All right. I have a few things that I can help interpret. First one on page 8. First paragraph ascribed to me. Second to the last line, which ends in the insert inaudible. The word that should go there is extent, E-X-T-E-N-T.
Okay,
And that was probably an artifact of my speech, not your tape. Page 12. Again, ascribed to me. Item number 1, third entry in that group. Last line. Passage should be stricken and replaced with the word package or
and
pack, because we received this packet of information.
thank you.
Then on the next page, page 13, there's a number 5 next to this paragraph near the bottom of the page. Second sentence. Mr. Winters actually did not do that, is what I meant to say, I think is what I said, rather than can.
Could we get to that on the screen? To number 5?
Good
Okay, there we go. Mr. Winters actually can do that,
It
and
should-
he did
the word-
not do that.
Yes, did not do that.
Okay. Did not. Thank you.
And that is all.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to rescind my no comment.
Okay,
On page 27 of the packet, under Dale Zinn, it says, well, the church in Alfrey is way the heck up there on the Gilmer map. There's a question mark, and it is Gilmer, so there's no,
It is Gilmer. I didn't know.
there's no
Okay.
question mark needed. And then in the next
you.
line, Ms. Winning said there is, the line says is a letter on stories, but I think what she said was a number of stories that dispute the accuracy of the Gilmer maps.
A number of, I thought, okay, because you said letter, so there are a number of stories.
Yeah, that
Okay.
dispute the accuracy of the Gilmer maps.
Thank
And in the next line, it's Mr. Zen asked him, it would be her, as to
As
be in,
to add him in dispute, that was speaking of you.
oh, add him, okay, that's fine. Him as, quote, in dispute as well.
Okay,
And that's it, Mr. Chair, thank you.
all right, Dale, and chasing that, I realized I wasn't done either.
Okay,
Back to page 24. First paragraph under my name, third line ends in the word inaudible. Replace that with the word time, T-I-M-E.
P-I-M-E. And that's page 24, paragraph number 1, under your name.
In this case, the paragraph's not, but that's the right highlighted location that is on the screen right now.
Okay, a series of field imagery which is tied to time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Then the very next page, first paragraph. 2 more inaudibles.
Okay,
the first inaudible, I'm saying, and south of the road crossing the property. The
Thank you.
second inaudible, I'm saying by a whole bunch of very healthy junipers,
Okay,
as in they're very grateful for the added irrigation. That is all.
thank you.
Someone want to make a motion, please?
Yeah,
Did you ask
Mr. Chair,
Yep.
I move that we approve the minutes of August 6, 2020 with the corrections requested by the committee.
Second.
Moved and seconded. May we have the roll call vote, please?
Yes,
Or-
sir. Jake Ivy,
Aye.
Courtney Wands,
Aye.
Dale Zinn,
Yes.
Derek Pierce.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you. Matters from the floor.
Is this when you want to bring up the calendar, Lisa, or when are you going to do that?
Members in, Mr. Chair, that item is under administrative matters and communications.
Okay,
at
never
the-
mind.
She's all over it.
She's on it.
If there's anyone out there in the audience who wants to raise an issue from the floor, you have to signify by raising your virtual hand.
I see none, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. We'll now move on to action items, and I want to advise everyone before we start that on case or item number 2, I will have to recuse myself, and I will signify by actually getting up and walking away. So when I disappear, someone else will have to be the acting chair, Member Pierce.
And
That would
Mr.
be fine. How do we recall you when the case is over?
Just speak loudly. I'll be within earshot, just not participating in the discussion.
Fair enough.
Hush. Hey,
I think David might be frozen.
Yeah.
Give him a moment.
We have a staff.
We may need a substitute chair sooner than the second.
Yeah, David does seem to be frozen.
Move a box.
Trying. You might want to try turning off your video, David. That might give you more bandwidth to speak.
There he is.
I have no idea how to turn off the video on this machine because it does not give me a control panel.
Oh, I could just stop it for you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Where did I drop out?
You
You were
never
announced
started.
the first case.
Okay, first item, case number 2020-2532. Sierra right-of-way agent for Kelly Cable Century Link requests approval of an archaeological monitoring report for subsurface cable installation at 1160 Camino de Cruz Blanca in the River and Trails Archaeological Review District. We have a staff report. Anything to add, Lisa?
Nothing to add, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Rude, are you present for this case?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you have the floor if you wish to add anything to your submittal.
Mr. Chair, I need to swear her in.
Ah,
Oh,
please do.
Ms. Rude, would you please raise your right hand?
okay.
Under penalty of perjury, do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I submitted my monitoring report for your review and approval. This was for a CenturyLink fiber project on Camino de Cruz Blanca at St. John's College. And I'll just await your review and if you have any required revisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, members in? Everything on my end seems to be locked up.
We can hear you.
Did you get my no comment?
No, you were muted.
Okay, well, no wonder. This is very straightforward. I have no comments.
I think Chair Eck may be having some technical difficulties again.
Do a mid-air transfer to Derek
Yeah.
and keep going.
You lost him. I don't know if we need to, I suppose the vice chair could just step into the chair role if the chair drops out mid-hearing. This is sort of uncharted.
That's Robert's Rules of Order. If the guy dies on the spot, you keep going.
I don't think Robert had to deal with this.
That's correct.
Had virtual hearings.
Where did
He
we
never
leave
did
off? We
a
were asking for comments from the members, correct?
Yeah, and I
We had members
said no
in. How
comment.
about member Wands? Are you there?
She's
I'm here.
muted.
No comment.
And do we have member Ivy on still line still?
Yep.
Jake, are you there?
We'll have to press
He's
your-
muted.
Okay,
There
can you
you
hear
go.
me now?
Yes.
All right. All of that to say, no comment.
Great. Thank you.
Well, while we wait to see if member Eck comes back, I just have a couple of positive comments to relay. First of all, I appreciate the graphics. The pictures were very good and informative. But what I most like is on, hang on. Here it is. On report page 19, under monitoring activities and results. Ms. Rude, I want to thank you for reminding us that we did approve the monitoring plan and at which meeting that happened. It's not always easy to remember when there's a lot of time that happens, and not everyone does that. So thank you for that.
Oh, thanks.
That's all I have. Any sign of Chair Eck yet?
I can see you, but I don't know if you can see me.
Yes,
We can hear you.
see I can see you.
Okay, I switched to a different place, a different computer, a different platform, and now the screen is completely different. So bear with me while I find out where I am. We've heard from member Zinn perhaps already, and now member Pierce.
We've heard from all members, Mr. Chair.
Ah, then there's just me to be the last pain in your side. In general, I love the thoroughness, but I would ask that in addition to the good photographs of the bore pits that you provided, some small profiles would be in order.
Okay.
In addition to the what she provided, I mean, the word did not pick up.
Photographs.
Photographs, thank you.
That's all.
Is that something I need to add as a revision to this report, or just a recommendation for future work?
I am happy to have the committee view it as a recommendation for future work.
Okay,
If everybody else was satisfied with what they saw, we should be fine.
okay.
So, Member Pierce, since you had to leap in and become acting chair, you might as well continue and call for a vote.
Oh, okay. What, do we have a motion first?
We need a motion.
I think member Zinn is trying to make a motion, but we need to unmute.
Yeah, talking to myself again. I'm making a motion to approve case 2020-002533 as submitted, with the recommendation in the future to do profiles, but not necessarily as submittals for this case.
Point of clarification, it's 2532. 33 is the next case.
Oh, I'm sorry, I already turned over my pages. So 3-2, yes, that would be good.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, I'll have a motion and a second. Maybe we have a roll call vote, please.
Yes, sir. Courtney Wands,
Aye.
Dale Zinn,
Aye.
Derek Pierce,
Aye.
Jake Ivy. Jake Ivy,
Press your space bar.
Jake
He says
Ivy.
okay.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you.
Stepping out of.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rude.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, we'll now consider case 2020-2533, results of archaeological testing and proposed treatment plan for the Old Masons and Oddfellows Cemetery at 401 Old Taos Highway. To begin with, do we have a staff memo? Any further comments, Lisa?
I have no further comments, Mr. Chair.
And do we have the applicant present? Dr. Abbott?
She is online.
Derek,
Yes.
I intend on volunteering on this project. I don't know that if that means I have to recuse myself or.
I see Lisa shaking her head.
Am I here?
Okay.
I don't believe
You're
you,
here.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
I don't believe you need to recuse yourself, member Wands,
Okay.
unless you
I
have.
didn't really think so. I just wanted to check.
I believe
You
it.
said you
Yeah.
said you're volunteering? Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Abbott, are you with us now?
I am. Thank you, Chair Pierce.
Do you have anything to add before we deliberate the case?
Mr. Chair,
let me ju-
we need,
let me ju-
Mr. Chair, we need to swear her in.
Yes.
Oh, please, please, proceed.
Ms. Abbott, raise your right hand, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Under penalty of perjury, do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, address, and title for the record.
My name is Alicia Abbott. I'm Principal Investigator for Abbotech Inc., Professional Archaeological Services at 1315 Morelia in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Thank you.
I have nothing to add other than that, as you can see, and we all expected, the cemetery that remains within the boundaries of the La Sequoia de El Castillo property is significant. We ended up encountering an additional 6 rows of graves from the one that was initially recovered, exposed during construction. Altogether, we ended up with 45 approximate graves, coffined burials, as well as some unorthodox pit graves. There may be more out there, but for now, we are assuming that we have found almost or all of the graves that are yet extant in the path of development. And so we are proposing to leave in place the graves that are on the far eastern boundary of the property, some of which may extend into the property, the next property over, the Montezuma Lodge property. All of those graves are going to stay where they are and be recovered, no longer moved. And then we are going to move a portion of the remaining cemetery to allow for the development to continue. So that's what we are asking to review and advance on today.
Mr. Chair, the last part of her sentence was garbled, that they were going to remove a portion to where? I'm sorry.
We will be removing approximately 30, between 25 and 30 graves. They will be from the path of development, that's what I said.
From the path, but you didn't say where. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Abbott. Do we have any comments from the floor? Anybody trying to chime in before we get the committee members? Doesn't appear so. So how about we begin with member Zen?
This is all fascinating. Everything you wrote, Dr. Abbott, it was great. I did have a question on this Masonic pendant on your cover, which is amazing, but that, I assume that wasn't found anywhere in this data recovery. I mean, this recovery, was it?
No, it was not a piece from this testing. I found
Probably
it.
should say that on the caption.
Okay.
Somebody might make the assumption.
I am that. I had included that it was part of the collection of the American Folk Art Museum.
Yeah. Okay, well, that may be good enough. Thank you.
But I will make it, what I will do is make it much more prominent.
Make
so
it
that-
abundantly clear. How's that?
I will, so that's not a question. Thank you.
It's a great thing. I love it. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, member Zen. Member Ivy, are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I've been out about half the time, muted. Only comment I had was figure 1. There's a number of things on figure 1 that aren't labeled, so I don't know what they are supposed to be telling
Yes.
us. Like the green line wandering across horizontally across the figure.
Yes, that is the existing sanitary sewer line disturbed area. And I will label that appropriately.
It's coming out of a box labeled proposed utilities, but I didn't know whether. Okay, large blue area on the right-hand side of the diagram.
Yes.
Is that a north arrow?
I will make that more.
Could be.
And what is the relationship of all of the large blue area to the rest of, to the parts of the cemetery that were excavated in this work?
Yes, that all action area.
That's what?
I want It's labeled clearly not well enough.
It
for you
says
to see it.
active construction area,
Yes,
but I was wondering if there used to be cemetery there?
there may very well have been cemetery. I think that initially the graves were north of where they exist yet on the parcel. That they are the graves that are, I think the reason they're no longer graves there initially was because of construction Presbyterian retreat building, which I think encroached upon graves that may have been in that location. And we were unable to find evidence of anyone further north as we went west. We did trench to the north, as far north as the existing graves on the east side, but did not find an abundance of graves north in the north quarter where we were testing. And I believe that's because if they were there, they have definitely been demolished during the construction of the Presbyterian school buildings, the footprint of which into that empty space.
That's more or less the sense I got from everything, but I just thought I would check.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you. Other than that, I have no comment.
Okay, thank you, Member Ivy. Member Wands? Oh, Courtney, are you there?
Sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. We were both trying to unmute me at the same time. Just wanted to say thank you for such a detailed discussion and plan. And that's it.
Okay. That leaves me. So Dr. Abbott, I have a few minor corrections here in the report.
Yes,
Let's see. Bear with me while I find it. Oh, this would be, I'm not sure if this is packet page 11 or your report page 11, but it's the end of the page. The paragraph dealing with feature 29.
yes, I see.
It says, well, the last word is extends, period. It looks like it's a truncated sentence, like there should have been something after that.
Yes, I think you are correct.
Okay.
It should be extends. I'm not sure which direction, but I will look to see.
That's what we were looking for, was a direction. That helps at least. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you refer to your page 14,
Yes,
these are the descriptions of feature 32 and feature 46.
yes.
Those headings don't match your figure 1.
Okay.
On your figure 32 is a coffin burial. Here in the text, it's grave shaft. And 46 in the text is burial coffin. On the figure, it's cremains. I did check the rest of them. They're all good. It's just those two don't agree.
My mistake. I will check and make sure that those concur.
Okay.
I'm certain or nearly certain that feature 32 is indeed simply a grave shaft, not a coffin burial. And indeed feature 46 is what did I say here? I'm sorry. Yes, cremains. I will resolve that between those two. Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. And then just one more editorial thing.
Yes.
This is on page 22, very top of the page. The sentence reading in general, the
Yes.
stratigraphic profile exposes across the testing R. I believe that word should be testing area.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So that's it for editorial comments. Now I'd like to move on to the treatment plan.
Yes.
I'm a little confused what this is, to be quite honest. I mean, what is the purpose of this treatment plan?
We are trying to explain how we're going to remove the graves. The methodology will be fairly simple. And then also to explain what we have set up so far with regard to a redisposition of the graves. And we have been in contact with the International Order of Oddfellows about receiving the remains after they have been analyzed and documented.
Yeah, I understand that, the methodology to remove the remains is fairly clear.
Yes.
What's missing is any sense of report preparation. What scientific reporting you're going to do at the end of this process? In fact, it never even says that you are going to write a report. Are you planning to write a report?
No, there will definitely be a data recovery report. And the data that we had outlined in the testing plan to generate information regarding the population, the gender of the population, the age of the population, the details of how they were buried, socioeconomic components of that we are able to determine from the textile remains, the coffin remains, and the morphology of the graves that was laid out in more detail in the testing plan. That's the research plan essentially for the removal and analysis of these graves.
Thank you. That's what I was missing was,
Yes.
exactly what metrics are you going to report on? How is it going to be presented?
I'm sorry, what I will do is I will take the information that I put into the testing plan that covers those issues, and I will put it into the treatment plan section so that it is in there.
I think that's an excellent idea. From what I remember of the testing plan, it was much more thorough and
Yes.
informative.
Yes, sir.
It does, however, leave us a bit of a quandary. I mean, we're here to evaluate this document as it's presented.
Yes.
And you may remember that we raked Mr. Winters over the coal for 4 or 5 months because he didn't prevent a thorough treatment plan. I'm a little concerned it would be hypocritical to approve this as it is presented tonight.
Sure. Well, what I will do is I will take what is necessary for approval to get you to be able to accept this report from the testing plan and submit it for your review as soon as possible. We are going before the CPRC next week with the same plan, hoping to get approval to begin removing graves sometime before the snow falls. So I will be glad to provide, of course, for the city, whatever extra detail or transfer detail from the testing plan so that it's a unified document that you can approve.
Very good.
The interest, Mr. Chair, in the interest of expeditiousness, is that the right word? I wonder if, since the committee has already seen and approved the testing plan and the portions of the testing plan that Alicia plans to include here, I wonder if it would be okay in a motion to just condition the approval upon inclusion of that. I'm not sure how the committee feels about that.
That is what we did with Ron Winters.
Uh-oh.
So it should be okay if we just did it last one. That's all I meant.
I think the difference is, from my perspective, Mr. Chair, the difference is that what was being requested from Mr. Winters in the case you're referring to had never previously been given. So the committee had been making requests and had not received that information. So I wonder, to me, there's a pretty significant difference.
Well, serving as vice chair, I can't make a motion, but we certainly could entertain such a motion from one of the other members. So you would be
I had to go
in
get
favor
another.
of administrative approval once Dr. Abbott submits a revised plan? Is that what you're leading towards?
If it pleases the committee, I could certainly issue an administrative approval that confirms that the conditions of approval set by the ARC had been met once Dr. Abbott provides the revised treatment plan.
Based on that, I will attempt to,
May I interject
go ahead.
one thing? I would also add that I don't know if we can do this, but it would seem wise to require that Dr. Abbott include that information in the packet presented to the CPRC, and that our approval be conditional upon theirs.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So now I think maybe we're ready to entertain a motion.
It would be above my pay grade, but I will attempt.
Mr. Chair, could I ask the attorney, is she there? If we can,
She's napping.
if you can, oh, okay, if you can condition approval based on someone else's approval. I just wanted to
I have
know
a
if
problem with that, Mr. Chairman, as well, just because we have our job to do and our rules and our stuff, and we really can't default our duties to the CPRC.
that was my point. Yes, sir.
Well, I do appreciate that. However, the reason I suggested it is because they will have the opportunity to see something that we do not. So without
Well, we've
a
got
second set of eyes on this, I would be hesitant to approve this case tonight.
the second set of eyes would be our Lisa Roach. True, not true.
True.
Well,
That's
I won't stand in the way of the name.
I mean, I
Already.
agree with you, Mr. Chair, but I think that we're looking for a little more expediency than our experience in the last project. So, I mean, the last ones that we battled for weeks on. You're nodding your head like, okay.
Obedience.
I will absolutely include the information. It's the CPRC also did see and approve the same testing plan. So they will be familiar with the information that I'm including in there, and I will tell them specifically why it's important to reiterate it, and that the Archaeological Review Committee requested and required that it be included, that it be set out specifically in this proposed section of the treatment plan.
So the logistics of this, Mr. Chair, would be that Dr. Abbott would present her stuff to the CPRC with the revised testing, or you're just going to tell them that's what you're going to do. And then if and when they do approve it, then Ms. Gavioni is going to give her okie dokie to it. Or is it vice versa?
Well, I could certainly wait to hear from the CPRC or hear from Dr. Abbott regarding the CPRC's decision before I issue the
So you'd be making an informed decision about CPRC, and if you weren't happy about what CPRC did or commented on, then you are, as staff person, you always have the right to kick it back to us.
That's correct.
There's no gun at your head saying you have to approve it.
Correct.
I think that's the middle ground we were looking for.
All right. So I would move for approval of case 2020-002533. That's the correct number, with the conditions that Dr. Abbott revise her testing plan to be consistent with the comments of the meeting tonight. And that testing, that final report will be administratively approved if appropriate, and after any comments and conditions set by the CPRC.
Long-winded, but very
Mr.
good.
Chair, there were additional corrections. Do you want to include those as well?
All corrections to be made a part of this approval.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and second. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Chair, I wanted to remind you, you need to call for public comment before
you.
the vote.
Thank you, Elisa.
Oh, by all means, then let's go for public comment if we have any. Lisa, do you see anybody?
I see no hands going up.
Thank you.
Now may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Derek Pierce,
Aye.
Jake Ivey,
Aye.
Courtney Wands,
Aye.
Dale Zinn.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abbott.
Thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate it.
And is Chair Eck out there and available to come back for the next case? He did say loudly, David, are you there?
I'll text him as well.
It looks like he's, oh, never mind.
Never mind. We've got Susan up, but not the chair.
Okay, I am unmuted and I'm back online.
Excellent.
So, thank you, Member Pierce, for pitch hitting. We can now move on to the third item for action. That being case number 2020-2534, Office of Archaeological Studies, Agent for Kelly Cable Cantura Networks, requests approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for the installation of subsurface conduit on West San Mateo Street between Galisteo Street and St. Francis Drive in the Suburban Archaeological Review District. We have a staff report. Lisa, anything to add? I have a minor correction to your staff report.
I'm noticing that minor correction as well, and that the title of the submittal should read West San Mateo Road and not West San Road.
Yep. Yep.
Likely working too fast.
I guarantee it. I can barely see you some days when you go by. All right, representative from OAS, identify yourself and prepare to be sworn in.
Hi, I'm Susan Stinson, the Deputy Director at the Office of Archaeological Studies.
I'm sorry, Susan Brown?
Stinson, S-T-I-N-S-O-N.
Boy, thank you.
Yes,
Will you hold up your right hand, please? Under penalty of perjury, do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, could you please state your address and title for the record?
Sure. I'm the Deputy Director at the Office of Archaeological Studies, and our address there is 7 Old Cochiti Road. That's Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87507.
Did you say 7 Old Cochiti Road?
I did. That's exactly right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You have the floor, having been sworn in.
The one thing that I would like to point out, and I did mention it in the plan, but Kelly Cable has conveyed to us that they would be willing and able to add additional bore pits if you feel that there's too much space in between the ones they have as they're set for their construction feature map. That would allow a little bit more subsurface view, only if you all felt that that was necessary, but they're certainly amenable to that.
Thank you. And if there's no other additional information, let's move to committee members for consideration. Members in?
I have no comment, except for I hope it doesn't block any of my traffic when I'm on my street there.
Okay. Member Ivy?
I have no comment.
Member Pierce?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, OAS's graphics just keep getting better and better. These are really good, really easy to visualize the project. I do have one editorial comment. This is on page 34.
Okay.
It's the paragraph about the summary of historic map information. The last full sentence reads, Galisteo Road lies immediately west of the project area. I believe that should be east.
Absolutely. No. Oh, Galveston. Yes, it should be east. You're absolutely right.
I believe that's all I have.
Make
Thank you.
that correction. Thank you.
Number 1?
No comment.
Good. I have nothing to add, so I think we can now ask for input from anyone who's listening and wants to raise their virtual hand.
No hands are raised, Mr. Chair.
All right, members, someone want to make a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve case 2020-2534 archaeological monitoring plan on West San Mateo Road with stipulated minor corrections.
Second.
Moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Chair, who seconded?
Member Zinn?
Member Zinn, thank you. I didn't hear him. Thank you.
It's actually Jake Ivy who seconded the motion.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear, so I would recognize the voice. Okay, Ivy, okay. All right, Mr. Chair. Jake Ivy,
Yes. Oh, yes.
Courtney Wands,
Yes.
Dale Zinn,
Yes.
Derek Pierce.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you. G on the agenda, discussion items. Item H on the agenda, matters from the committee. Item I, administrative matters and communications. We have one item. It's the 2021 ARC hearing schedule.
So, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I'm projecting on the screen the draft schedule for the coming year for your review and approval.
Would you like to add that as an attachment to the minutes?
Yes, please, Melissa.
Thank you.
I apologize for having omitted that from your packets. And I can certainly email it out as well.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yes.
So we attempted to adjust for holidays and other closures.
Other pandemics.
Pandemic. We're trying not to predict those. So definitely open to any comments if there are any. If you are aware in advance of an absence, it'd be great to note that.
January 7th will be out. Pretty much anything in January will be out for me.
That
I
one.
don't see any obvious conflicts.
Okay. Yeah, that January hearing, it's a little tough. mean, we could consider having that January hearing on the second week in January rather than the first week, just looking at the deadlines.
Yeah, because nobody's going to want to make those deadlines.
Those are going to be tough deadlines to meet, but
Well, and delivery of the packets might be, might have in your inbox or something, but you won't have time to read it. Not if you're traveling
right.
or
Be able to
if
deliver
anyone
them
is traveling by then.
right. So we could entertain an idea to have that January hearing on the second week in January.
Keep the deadlines for the February meeting.
I think so. Get back on track with the first Thursday of the month. Just scanning ahead in my phone calendar to just confirm some of these things, because I haven't had a chance to review this myself.
Yeah, I would vote for moving the January meeting. Otherwise, it looks fine.
That makes sense.
But do we need that as an action item, Mr. Chair?
Yes,
Would need
sir.
an action item, yes. I'm just gonna make a note.
Are you doing that in real time now?
Yeah.
I'd move for approval of the calendar as submitted, with the January hearing being moved to the second Thursday of January 2021.
I second.
Okay, anybody want to raise their hand and make a comment?
Mr. Chair, I'll just clarify for the record that means that the first hearing of the year will be January
14th.
Would make the 14th?
14th
So,
at 7.
yes. January 14th.
Okay. Seeing no virtual hands, we can proceed with a roll call vote.
Yes, sir. Jake Ivy,
Aye.
Courtney Wands,
Aye.
Dale Zinn,
Yes.
Derek Pierce.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
Thank you. So, anybody have anything to add at the last possible moment? We're ready for item Jake on the agenda.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Courtney Wands,
Aye.
Dale Zinn,
Yes.
Derek Pierce,
Aye.
Jake Ivy.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion has been approved.
And
And I have 4:28 p.m.
correct.
Thank you.
Great. It's almost a record.
Oh, that was quick. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lisa. Good luck on your surgery.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.